Hello, my name is Kavita Melwani, and I'm a Master Certified Success and Business Coach with 2 decades of experience as an entrepreneur and almost a decade as a coach. I want to personally welcome you to the Soulful Entrepreneurs Club podcast, where my vision is to empower as many spiritually led businesses to run purposeful and profitable businesses aligned with their true selves. I want you to confidently and opulently shine your light without the overwhelm, the stress, or the burnout. Together, we will explore challenges that soulful entrepreneurs face and real implementable solutions so you can step into your unique purpose and shine. It is possible to bridge the success you already have with the truest, soulful, mystical parts of yourself. Are you ready to rise up as the leader you were born to be? Then join me, my soulful friends. The time is now for you to rise up and shine your light. The world needs you. Perfectionism can spoil your progress. So if you're a recovering perfectionist, or consider yourself a straight A student, a person that is known for getting things done correctly, then this episode is for you. As an entrepreneur, if you are still needing the approval that comes with doing things perfectly, this comes from your conditioning. This comes from a lot of it comes from our childhood, right? So thinking back, if you went to a school system that had grades, you were rewarded for doing things really well, almost perfect, right? 100% on an exam or a class. That meant that you did things perfectly. You got nothing incorrect, nothing wrong. And so for a long time, we are trained to work for that reward, for the external reward of the grade. And then the higher grade that we get, then the more rewards that we receive. And then not only in the form of the grade, maybe you get praise from the teachers, maybe you received praise from your family, your parents. And so then that creates this idea and conditioning, right? That in order for me to get positive feedback, to be seen, to be appreciated, my work has to be perfect. So even if you don't actively think that right now, the past conditioning may be subconsciously impacting you because there's this need to want validation. And so then when we're looking for perfection, that can stop you, especially if it's subconscious, right? If it's subconsciously, it's stopping you in these ways. So first, you may be stopping yourself from marketing as much as you would like. Maybe you're not posting as much if you're using social media. Maybe you're not talking about your business as much as you would like to. Maybe you want to do a workshop or a class or a speaking engagement, but you're not doing it because you're not sure if you're going to do something wrong. And sometimes it can show up like, what do I have to offer that people don't already know, right? It's all been done. And or you compare yourself and you look at someone else and say, well, they're doing these things. I can't even come close, so I shouldn't be doing this, right? And so then you overthink it. Maybe then you go into a mode of learning. And so you're like, if I'm going to do this, then I want to do it perfectly. And again, that might not be what you're saying to yourself. You're saying, I want to do it right, or I have to do it properly, or whatever. And so you go into that mode of research, learning, over preparing. And so by the time you do something, then you are exhausted, because in order to do one workshop, you needed hours and hours and hours of preparation, right? And so then why would you want to do that again? And so then that stops you from moving forward, because then every task becomes huge. And this is one of the shifts that we as entrepreneurs need to continue to work on, is the idea that you need to continue to take action on a regular basis and do so without kind of this attachment which causes burnout. In fact, I just read this article in I think it was Forbes magazine that said, there are 3 keys to entrepreneurial success. And one of the keys they talked about was relentless persistence. And having persistence is what's going to differentiate you from those people that give up, on progress, give up on taking action, give up on their dreams. Okay, it's the persistence, and the persistence, not just persistence, but relentless persistence. And to keep going like that without burning out, there has to be a sense of it doesn't have to be perfect, because the perfectionism, the over preparing, will burn you out. The attachment also will burn you out, right? And so I want you to have the highest level of success. I want you to achieve your desires, your goals, your dreams. And so it's about taking that imperfect action, the imperfect aligned action, okay? So what's aligned with what you want to create, what you want to do, and even though it might be uncomfortable to do that. And when you can take those steps and you can take that imperfect action, then only can you take the next step and the next step. Because the truth is, we can create a plan, which I think is really important, and then we pick our next steps. And often, once we start taking steps, the next step is different than what we thought, right? And so that we have to have this openness to possibilities being even better than we could even imagine, right? And so then if you're taking this idea, let's say you decide that you're going to do the workshop, okay? And so you do the workshop, you plan it, you invite people, and you don't over prepare. You use your intuition, you use your strengths, knowing that you know how to help people, you know how to support people. You do the workshop, and then you don't stop. Then through the workshop, maybe you get an opportunity for another workshop, or maybe you decide, now I have some content for my social media or for my blog or for my YouTube channel, or to send out to in my newsletter. Maybe then you have some content to share on social media. Maybe then you decide that, okay, I want to do it better next time, so I'm going to make these changes. And now and you'll do it again, and you'll do it in a different location. Maybe you did it offline, so you'll do it online, or vice versa. It's about the continued action. When we get stuck in not seeing the results that we thought we'd get, and we get stuck in over preparing, in the sense of needing it to be almost perfect in order for that to go out there, then that's coming from fear. And that fear is stopping you from moving forward in your business. And so going towards that fear and asking yourself, what are you actually afraid of? What is the next step that can happen, right? So first, what are you actually afraid of? What's the worst that could happen? Let's say you have a workshop and you make a mistake during the workshop. What could happen? And then what, right? And so going to what you're really afraid of, and then knowing that the chances of that happening are really small. And then what is it that you actually want? If you knew that you could succeed, right? That's the question that they ask often, I hear, is if you knew that you couldn't fail, right? Is usually how they say it. But like, if you knew that it would work out, it would always work out, what is the next step that you would take? Okay, and so that can eliminate some of that need for perfection. And then when you think about creating whatever you're going to create, and you're starting to work on that, how can I bring the real elements here? What is truly important? What is the goal of this? What is the intention of this? And if you know the intention, making sure you're focusing on the aspects of that will bring your intention, right? That will match your intention. And so then you take that step. Then once you're done taking the step, you do kind of an assessment, look at what you've done and see what you want to do next. How can you do what you did better? And then take another step. where people get stuck is in several parts of this process. The first part, before they actually take action, there's a fear that can come up there. Or the fear comes up once you've taken action and not gotten the results that you wanted. And you stop yourself there because you don't want to feel that pain again. Or, again, these are all unconscious, doesn't mean you're thinking this actively, right? Or you take a few steps and you are really attached and it took a lot of energy, and so you start to burn out. So what is it for you? Where do you stop yourself? Through perfectionism. Okay, these are all parts of that whole umbrella of perfectionism. Where do you stop yourself? And how can you choose differently now that you're aware of this? So commit today, commit to one thing that you've been afraid to do, or something that you've done in the past that maybe you can improve a little bit and do again. Or if you're feeling that burnout, can you do another thing right now after you replenish your energy without the attachment? The imperfect is not going to get you your success. It's something we have to keep telling ourselves because we've been conditioned in school to believe that that is what is success. And it's also important to define success for yourself. I've had a couple podcast episodes on that, and I will put that in the show notes. So if you are ready to move into your next level of success, I'd love to hear from you. I have a link in the show notes to book a consultation, a discovery call that will go and we will dive into your business and see how working together may or may not be a good fit. And you will leave with some action steps. So if that sounds aligned, go ahead and take a look in the show notes and book that call. I'd love to talk to you. In the meantime, take good care. Bye.